Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today, we will unpack the absolute insanity of Bill Spencer suing RJ Forrester, the Logan sisterhood completely imploding, and that jaw-dropping Sheila Carter hospital confession that just changed the entire Finnegan bloodline forever. I am literally shaking right now. I cannot even begin to process what we just witnessed on our screens. I am typing this up late at night, my coffee is cold, my eyes are burning, but I absolutely refuse to go to sleep until I get all of these thoughts out of my system. Is it just me, or is everyone completely losing their minds over this week of episodes? Because I feel like I am in an alternate reality. I have been watching the show religiously since 2015, and I have seen some wild, off-the-wall storylines in my time. I mean, we all remember the mannequin phase, we remember the crazy cliff pushes, we remember all the paternity test tampering. But this takes the cake. This is quite possibly the most explosive, emotionally devastating, and legally chaotic week in the history of The Bold and the Beautiful. Let us just jump right into the absolute mess that is Forrester Creations right now. I cannot believe they actually went there. I cannot believe the writers finally pulled the trigger on a full-blown legal war between the Spencers and the Forresters. We all knew that the shoving match between RJ and Will in the office was bad. We all saw Carter having to physically step in and separate these two grown men, acting like absolute toddlers over Elektra. And we all heard Ridge give his pathetic, hypocritical little speech about how Forrester Creations is a fashion house and not a boxing ring. Like, really, Ridge? You are going to lecture someone on professionalism? You? The man who has literally brawled with Bill Spencer in every single room of that building? It was a joke of a warning, and RJ completely ignored it. RJ has been acting so entitled, so incredibly arrogant, thinking that just because his last name is Forrester, he can do whatever he wants and treat Will like garbage. But RJ messed with the wrong family. Because you do not push Will Spencer without dealing with the ultimate Papa Bear, Dollar Bill Spencer. When I saw Bill march into that situation, my jaw hit the floor. Bill is not playing games anymore. Bill is not just yelling or throwing threats around. He filed an actual, legitimate lawsuit against RJ for assault and battery. Bill wants RJ in prison. I repeat, Bill Spencer is trying to send Ridge and Brooke's golden child to a literal jail cell. And part of me is screaming with joy because someone finally needs to put RJ in his place. RJ has been weaponizing his family legacy, acting like he is the king of Los Angeles, and Bill just dropped a nuclear bomb on his entire life. And the fallout? The fallout is a complete and total public relations nightmare. This is not just a family squabble anymore. This lawsuit has leaked to the press, and it is dragging both Forrester Creations and Spencer Publications through the mud. The media is having a field day with this. But the craziest part is what the legal discovery process is bringing to light. The lawsuit is exposing all these deeply buried childhood secrets about RJ and secrets from when they were kids that we, as the audience, did not even fully know about. It turns out this rivalry is not just about Elektra. It is about years of built-up resentment, childhood bullying, and the toxic generational trauma passed down from Ridge and Bill. The public is reading all about how these two families have poisoned their children against each other. It is destroying the reputations of both companies. Stock prices are probably plummeting. And all because RJ could not keep his hands to himself, and Will finally snapped and told him he was not even a real Forrester. I mean, Will was right. Ridge's dad is Massimo Marone. RJ parading around like he is the heir to Eric's throne is laughable, and Will calling him out on it was the catalyst for this entire legal apocalypse. So, because Bill is out for blood, and Ridge is panicking trying to save his son from wearing an orange jumpsuit, the mothers have to get involved. And oh my goodness, the Logan sisters, I hate to break it to you guys, but the Logan sisterhood is dead. It is completely, irreversibly, 100% dead. Brooke and Katie have had their issues, obviously. I mean, Brooke slept with Bill. Brooke has betrayed Katie a million times. And recently, they have been at each other's throats over Katie, using the Logan name for her new fashion line. But this lawsuit? This is the final nail in the coffin. Brooke, in her classic, blind, self-righteous glory, is defending RJ to the ends of the earth. She is acting like RJ is this innocent little victim who is just defending his honor. Brooke is literally ignoring the fact that RJ was the aggressor. RJ was the one pushing Will's buttons, and RJ is the one who thinks he owns the world. Brooke is marching around demanding that Katie call off her ruthless ex-husband. She is screaming at Katie, telling her that she needs to control Bill and make this lawsuit go away. But Katie is not backing down, and I am so entirely here for it. Katie is finally showing that fierce, mama bear energy that we have been begging to see for years. Katie looked Brooke dead in the eye and basically told her to kick rocks. Katie is defending Will, as she should. Will was assaulted in his workplace by a spoiled brat, and Katie is not going to let Brooke manipulate her into sacrificing her son's justice just to keep the peace. The screaming match they had, I thought the windows were going to shatter. The venom, the years of resentment pouring out of Katie. She brought up everything. She brought up how Brooke always expects everyone to bow down to her, how Brooke thinks her children are untouchable, and how Brooke's entire worldview revolves around protecting Ridge's fragile ego. The relationship between Brooke and Katie is completely shattered. There is no coming back from this. They are on opposite sides of a legal war that could end with one of their sons behind bars. I know some people are hoping they will hug it out eventually, but personally, I hope Katie never speaks to Brooke again. She deserves so much better than a sister who constantly demands she set herself on fire to keep Brooke warm. Wait, I am getting ahead of myself. I am so worked up about the lawsuit that I haven't even gotten to the most insane, heart-stopping part of the week. Okay, back to the point. Let's talk about Taylor, Deacon, and Sheila. Because what just happened at the Cliff House is going to go down in soap opera history. We all saw Taylor and Deacon parading around town, going public with their relationship. Taylor was living in this absolute fantasy world, thinking that just because Sheila said she was walking away, everything was fine and dandy. Deacon, bless his heart, is so incredibly naive. He really thought Sheila Carter was just going to file for divorce and quietly disappear into the night. Have these people met Sheila? Have they watched the same show I have been watching? Everyone thought the mysterious stalker watching Taylor was just a red herring. We thought it was going to be someone else. Maybe a crazy patient. Maybe even someone hired by Ridge to keep an eye on them. But no, the stalker was real. And the stalker actually made a move. The scene at Taylor's house was straight out of a horror movie. The lighting, the tension, the shadows. Taylor's home alone, completely oblivious, and suddenly this masked figure breaks in. The struggle was terrifying. The stalker had a weapon. They cornered Taylor, and I was sitting on my couch screaming at the television. I genuinely thought Taylor was going to die. I thought the writers were actually going to kill off Taylor Hayes. And then, the door bursts open. And who was standing there? Sheila freaking Carter. I literally stopped breathing. Sheila did not come to attack Taylor. She came to save her. In a split second, the stalker lunges at Taylor, and Sheila throws her own body in front of her rival. Sheila takes the hit. A fatal, brutal, critical wound meant for Taylor, absorbed completely by Sheila. There was blood everywhere. Taylor is screaming, Sheila collapses to the floor, and the stalker runs off. Does anyone else feel like their brain is melting? Sheila Carter, the woman who famously shot Taylor years ago, the woman who has terrorized the Forrester family for decades, just sacrificed her own life to save the woman who stole her husband. I cannot wrap my head around it. The irony is almost too much to handle. When the news hit Deacon and the Forresters, the shockwaves were palpable. Deacon is completely devastated. He is realizing that while he was out flaunting his new romance, his ex-wife was literally taking a bullet, or a knife, or whatever that weapon was, for his new girlfriend. And the Forresters? Steffi and Ridge are in absolute denial. They are pacing around the hospital waiting room, trying to convince themselves that this is all a setup. Steffi is ranting and raving, saying that Sheila probably hired the stalker herself just to stage a rescue and manipulate her way back into Deacon's heart and Finn's life. And you know what? Part of me agrees with Steffi. Because it is Sheila. She is the master of manipulation. Remember when she cut off her own toe to fake her death? This woman will go to any extreme to get what she wants. It is entirely possible that she orchestrated this whole attack just to look like a hero and force Taylor to owe her her life. But then we get to the hospital room scene. And this is where the entire foundation of the show just crumbled to dust. Sheila is on life support. The monitors are beeping. She looks terrible. She is pale, she is struggling to breathe, and she is genuinely hovering right on the edge of death. Finn is sitting by her bed holding her hand, crying. Because despite everything, she is his birth mother, and she just saved his mother-in-law's life. The emotion in that room was so heavy I could barely watch. And then Sheila pulls off her oxygen mask. She looks at Finn with tears in her eyes, knowing she might not make it through the night. And she makes a confession, a deathbed confession. She tells Finn a secret about his bloodline. They cut to black before we heard the full details, but I'm losing my mind. What is the secret? What could possibly upend Steffi and Finn's family more than what they have already been through? I have been pacing my living room for an hour coming up with theories. Is Jack Finnegan not his real father? Did Sheila lie about the DNA all those years ago? Wait, what if his father is a Forrester? What if his father is Massimo Marone, making him Ridge's half-brother? What if his father is Bill Spencer? Could you imagine if Finn is a Spencer, right in the middle of this massive legal war between the families? Or worse, what if Sheila is not his biological mother? What if she stole him? What if she swapped babies in the hospital decades ago, and Finn belongs to someone else entirely? The implications are astronomical. Whatever the secret is, the look on Finn's face said it all. His entire identity, his entire history, everything he thought he knew about himself is a lie. And Steffi? Steffi is going to absolutely lose her mind. Her perfect little family, her perfect husband, is now tainted by an even darker, more twisted secret than just being Sheila's son. Steffi's worldview is shattered. She has spent years trying to protect her family from Sheila's bloodline, and now she finds out the bloodline itself is a massive lie. I am so overwhelmed by all of this. We have RJ facing actual prison time because Bill Spencer is not playing around. We have the Forrester and Spencer companies facing PR ruin because of childhood secrets being dragged into the courtroom. We have Brooke and Katie permanently destroying their sisterhood over their sons. We have a mysterious stalker on the loose who almost murdered Taylor. We have Sheila Carter playing the ultimate tragic hero, bleeding out on a hospital bed. And we have Finn's entire existence rewritten in a single, breathless confession. I do not know how the writers are going to untangle this mess, but I am glued to my screen. I am terrified, I am thrilled, and I am completely obsessed. I need to know what you guys think. Drop your theories in the comments. Who is Finn's real family? Is Sheila faking it? Will RJ actually go to jail? I need to discuss this before I completely lose my mind. Make sure you subscribe because I will be back tomorrow to break down whatever fresh hell these characters unleash on each other next.